Hello everyone and welcome back to Trifecta. And look at this is perfect timing right here. This is awesome. So this is our cow cannon we built in episode 5, built to give us raw beef. We can input wheat into this chest, we have a deployer which will breed the cows. Once they grow into adults they'll be caught by the water stream and sent into our cow cannon. So if you saw the end of the last episode then you'll know that we had some issues here with the cow cannon. I've been doing some extensive tests and made a couple of adjustments. I found that in the original configuration the cows would occasionally get stuck on the water streams, and I think that was compounded by the fact that we had an encased fan on the right, so they weren't perfectly aligned going through the cannon. Fortunately though, we do collect all the drops on the other side and the mechanical saw does work flawlessly. But yeah, given the failure point here of the cannon, I made some adjustments. I slowed down the fan and also introduced another sign on the left to basically cut the water source one block short. Sometimes though the cows would still get stuck on the last glass block, since there was nothing really to push them along, and the fan alone wasn't enough. It seemed to work fine when there was more than one cow, but not really reliable in that state. So the obvious solution and obvious fix is just to add a create belt on the left hand side and cut the water 2 blocks shorter. I also removed the encased fan on the right, and that gives us a flat wall, and there's less chance of the cows being stuck, and so far this thing works amazingly. You guys wouldn't believe the amount of satisfaction this gives me right now. You know what, there's just something so magical about bringing your visions to life in this game, and yeah, that's exactly what we've done here with McFolds, and we can pretty much call this project complete. Today we are going to move on to some bigger and better, well, not necessarily better, it's going to be hard to top this, but some exciting new challenges today. But this certainly isn't the last you'll see of McFolds. Oh no, we're going to grow this empire into the biggest on the server. We did talk about putting a restaurant up here, although that obviously isn't going to be the case anymore with this cutting board automation, which has been working very well. We are of course going to have to build a restaurant here for the server though, right? And I think that's most appropriate at spawn. Spawn, however, is around 500 blocks southeast, that direction. 500 blocks isn't an impossible distance, especially if we take Threefold, the horse. But wouldn't it be awesome if we had another form of transportation in this game that isn't minecarts? Although we can definitely afford minecarts with this amount of iron, look at this. Before we do anything else this episode though, I did notice a slight mistake here with the iron farm. Hello, Breeks. Yeah, so you see these glass blocks right here? These are actually meant to be slabs. Let's make sure these guys don't get out. Hold on. I'm just making some modifications, guys. Don't mind me. I'm not going to go too in depth on the mechanics of this iron farm, but basically it's to do with the line of sight of the villagers. We have to always make sure they can see the zombie, and vice versa, the zombie can see them. Because when they're scared, when they're running about like this, scared from the zombie, that's when they spawn the iron golem. And yeah, if these are basically glass blocks, I don't think... Oh. No! How could you... I don't believe it. Oh my goodness, Iron Golem. What have you done? Yes, you. I don't want to hit you because we still haven't died yet. I actually do not believe that. We do not have another name tag to replace Breeks either. Are you kidding me? Yeah, see you later. He survived. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me on? Well, I mean, I guess we do have this spare zombie here. You know what, let's pretend that didn't just happen. Yeah, we haven't died and I want to keep it that way. I'm getting quite competitive actually with Coolcat, and we cannot be the first to die, no matter what. Now he is covered in debris, he has a full set of netherite armor. And yeah, it's safe to say that we could do with a bit of an upgrade. And it looks like we found the exact same tunnel we dug here a couple of episodes back with Coolcat, where we nearly died, right around here. So by the looks of things, the other two have dug out some 1x2 tunnels, presumably just with the pickaxe. But doing it this way is for suckers. And we are not a sucker, are we? So I brought our drill along, our mining bore, with some modifications. So I replaced the plows on the backside with mechanical drills, and instead of placing redstone torches down now, which can be washed away by lava, it instead places blocks of redstone. That's mined by the drill, and the whole thing moves along like before. I also removed the fence gate on the back, just in case we have to hop off this thing, because of lava, although it should build a 5x5 or hollow 3x3 tunnel. This is good, we're down at Y15, and this thing should basically run indefinitely. I'm going to be here for a while, and let's see how much netherite we can get. Apparently none. Guys, that was not even like 3 minutes after hitting stop record. No way! No way, no way, no way that just happened. I don't think I got the whole thing on camera, but that... I don't even know what to say. Well, there it is. The number, I did not plan for that at all. This is a huge fail. Kulka, if you're watching, I know you're laughing right now, rubbing your hands. Oh, you cannot make that up. You actually cannot make that up. Well, we took the boat ride of shame back to the nether portal, navigated our way back to the scene of the accident to find most of our tools. At least the 2 pickaxes survived. We can look on the positive side. We did lose about a stack of McFold's burgers, unfortunately, but we are not going to let that stop us from our first objective today, the full suit of netherite. I spent several hours in the nether mining. So once we got this tunnel bore going, I found that this thing was super effective. I'll let the results speak for themselves. Since we were fixing mistakes, I did also replace bricks in the iron farm. And then started to do some forward planning while trying to forget about the 1 which is now engraved next to our name on the scoreboard. Alright, so we have some good news and some bad news. The first good news is that we have Breeks the second up there, and we now have a functional iron farm once again. In some other good news, we got 44 ancient debris, which I just smelted up into 10 netherite ingots. It should be 11, but I also traded 1 for these micro blocks, for the mini blocks here from the wandering trader. I don't know where he went, he was just here a second ago. But hey, it was a worthwhile trade, right? So our tunnel bore here with the modifications worked extremely well. I also went to visit Mandalorian to pick up some more enchanted books from Lash. 2 books for 1 diamond is just such a good deal. We are also starting to fill up our bulk storage here. Look at this, lots of netherrack. We went through so much netherrack and basalt. Yeah, check this out, blackstone and basalt. Plus, I believe there's a few chests scattered around the place in various locations. It's not exactly centralized right now. Yeah, look at this. Tons and tons of wood, just unfortunately not the right type of wood. Not the right type that we need for today. So yeah, speaking of the wood that we need for today, I have went ahead and built a platform here. Don't mind the fact that it's floating right now. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of forward planning here, trying to develop a bit of a game plan. And this valley here, I just want to talk a bit about the plans for it. It's been through several different iterations, so originally I was going to flood this thing up until about there. As in raise the water level and then connect it all the way through to that body of water just behind that hill. However, tying this back to what I said at the beginning of the episode about transportation, a lot of you guys probably correctly assumed that I was talking about the create trains. And these things look super exciting. Apparently you can load fluids and items, you can have like logistics networks, you can set up schedules. Seemingly you can also send them through nether portals. And from what I've seen anyway, they are fully customizable. You can put... Oh, it seems like you can put contraptions on this thing? No way! You can add like deployers and saws? Oh, that is so cool. Oh yeah, the train system looks incredible in Create, and is something I'm really looking forward to. So I want to make this like a main part of the base. So instead of raising the water level and having a river through here, we are going to build a train station right where Threefold is. And not just a small train station, I want to make this thing massive. So, originally I thought we could survive in this lawn base format. I thought we could get away with this until we could build like the full scale train station. and the fully automated storage system, I'm realising that that is a bit too big of a jump, so we need something in between. So I've spent the last few hours designing a workshop, which is something you guys have suggested, and I think it's a really great idea. Somewhere we can have a basic storage system, and also room for all of these create machines down here. Before we talk about the workshop though, we have some bad news, unfortunately. Yep, as you can see, that number 1 is now a 2. Yeah, I was just done. That was an instant logout from the server. I just went to bed. Before that happened though, I wanted to do some enchanting, and then I realised that we sold the enchantment table to the Wandering Trader last episode for the mini block, and we had no obsidian to replace the table. So that was fantastic, but after replacing the table, we started to do some enchanting, using the levels that we got from the nether. I did silk touch a decent amount of nether quartz ore, which we could break down for experience. And pretty early on we rolled a fortune 2, which was nice to multiply the nether quartz. After that fortune enchant though, things took a nosedive. It was awful. After all those terrible enchantments though, I found myself back in the nether since we had run out of experience and nether quartz ore. I was just there to pick up some surface nether quartz this time, and it worked out pretty well. We got our level 30 plus a bunch of ore, and on the way back to the portal, that's when it happened. Yeah, so as I mentioned, I basically logged out there and then. We did get all of our stuff back that we had on us at the time. We didn't lose anything, but yeah, I was out. I was gone. But you know what? I returned determined as ever. So I went back to the nether and spent another hour and a half or so just following the tunnel bore. It was pretty chill, mining behind that thing. I found overall it was a pretty effective strategy, although for sure some improvements can be made, like for example making the tunnel bore much bigger. I'm sure that's one way to get more efficiency out of this setup. But yeah, about another hour and a half spent in the nether, and that's how we got the 44 ancient debris. And that, folks, is the last time you'll ever see me in the nether. I'm never ever ever going back. Never ever. That place is cursed. Alright, so now that we have some levels back, let's try this again, shall we? I'm not going to settle for terrible enchants though. I really want to get the best of the best. Aqua Affinity on the helmet. Unbreaking 3 on the boots. Let's do the boots. Protection 4 on Breaking 3. It's missing Feather Falling, but I guess not too bad. Okay, let's roll this Aqua Affinity. Protection 3 Aqua Affinity. Are you kidding me? What is this? Am I playing this game right, or what? I mean, of course we can get them from villagers, and we eventually will. But like, I thought the enchantment table was better than that, right? Unless they changed something. Did they change something about the enchantment mechanics? Oh no, wait, is that the end of the nether quartz? Is that the end of our experience? I think we used it already. Some nether gold ore. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go the old-fashioned way, and creepers is exactly what we're after. These guys, believe it or not, are gonna help us today. Gunpowder? Yes, gunpowder, nice. Alright, we got the last 30 levels. Let's do this once more. I used the grindstone on the helmet. Wait, why did I roll that? I wasn't even... I'm having some serious skill issues today. That was terrible. Why did I just do that? I can't talk and play this game at the same time. It's almost impossible. Yeah, well, we're not going to settle on enchant, so we're going to keep this here. Keep this safe. Alright, so let's get back to the workshop, which is going to be where I'm standing. So like we talked about, it's going to be for storage and for all the create contraptions down there. Or not contraptions, the create machinery. So we'll need things like the mechanical press, the bulk smelting, haunting, washing and smoking. The blaze burners, the mixers, all that sort of stuff. And that basically means it needs to be just about as big as McFold's, if not bigger. At least in terms of interior space, right? And McFold's took forever to build by hand. But fortunately, we have the Create Schematic Cannon. And if you guys have never seen this thing before, it's going to blow your minds. This thing is awesome. Coolcat recently used it and he assured me that it's well worthwhile. So the thing about the schematic cannon is it does cost gunpowder. I'm not going to put that in there right now because I think it has an internal buffer. And I'm not sure this is going to be in range or where exactly we want to place this cannon. But yeah, it basically costs gunpowder and it will automatically place blocks for you. And the blocks are going to come from a schematic, which I was working on here in Create. Oh, it's already rendered. Well, there we have it. This is our workshop. And I think I've got it placed correctly. Again, don't mind the fact that it's floating down below. We are of course going to terraform the terrain. And the plan is to have like a bridge section underneath for the trains to come out. Sounds ambitious. Wait, get this zombie helmet off me. Sounds ambitious, but we're going to make it work. Trust me. Where there's a will, there is a way. And we've learned that with the cow cannon. But yeah, this thing ended up super duper intricate. I mean, look at the roofs on this. There's like 4 different roofs. This is like the backside, right? The side we're not going to see as often. And I want to put like a garage door on this backside. Oh, nice. That thing looks crazy. So it's a bit of a different build. You know what? We'll talk about it after it's built. We have a lot of materials to gather because as you might have guessed, this is just ghost blocks. This doesn't actually exist as a building over there. So I believe there's some way to get a material list here if we give it an empty book here. Yeah. How bad does this look? Like 200 odd planks and stairs of the Azul variant. That must be the roof. Oh yeah, there's a lot of different stuff here. So many things to collect. 11 pages? I mean, I guess it isn't that bad. Oh hey, the Wandering Trader's back. I'm getting so distracted right now, I'm kind of stalling. The llama's mad. Yep, well, I guess there's nothing really else for us to do other than collect these materials and bring this schematic to life. We have 28 gunpowder. I'm hoping that's enough for all, well, the couple hundred blocks that this schematic is. I guess we're about to find out. Alright, that was amazing. I love this schematic cannon. Oh, look at this thing. And it's like the perfect time of day as well. But yeah, as you can see, we now no longer have a ghost building in front of us. It's now all real blocks right there. And you know what? It was really awesome to see the schematic cannon do its thing. From what I could make out, it went back to front, bottom to top. So yeah, it just done it like layer by layer. And I'm curious to see if everything got placed correctly, but on first glance, it looks like that fence gate is in the correct orientation, which is something I was curious about. Okay, how much gunpowder? 15 left. 15 left, and it has 1900 shots left. I guess with the internal inventory it has. I think we started with 28, so that is a really good deal. That is really, really good. And that's a couple of hundred blocks at least in the schematic. Let's see if it was able to place all the blocks. It looks like most of the things stayed intact. The rotation is something I was worried about, you know, for things like fence gates and stairs and slabs. but everything looks to be correct. It doesn't look like it's placed, even like the create bracings here, which is a brand new thing I just discovered, or I was just reminded about recently messing around in creative. Apparently also put them on shafts, like that. Oh yeah, that's awesome. You know where this would be perfect is in the cow cannon area. We have this shaft going across the top side. I wonder if we could put some brackets up here just to make it look like it's a bit more supported. Oh yeah, I do like that a lot. Hold on, let's get it spinning again. I set up this little temporary deployer setup to strip oak logs, or really any type of log, as we needed a lot of those for the cannon to be already stripped. But normally when I'm building, I strip them after it's placed. But for the cannon, it needed them automatically stripped, so I set up a little setup down there, which might be something we want to consider adding to the workshop in the interior space. Flip these back. Now it should be spinning, right? Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this pipe here doesn't actually do anything at the moment, although it is of course capable of carrying fluids. That's the wrong way. You can of course use these fluid pipes to carry fluids around. So some of the other features in here, we have a netherite door. You know we had to do it. I went for this copper casing floor from Create, which is really cool. This is like, copper is like the fluid material from what I gather from Create. It's used in all the fluid pipes and all the fluid gadgets and machinery. It's made in the same way that the brass and the andesite casing is made. But up until this point, we haven't really used a whole lot of copper. So we had quite a bit of it to use for the floor. And in fact, I did experiment with making the roof copper. A lot of you guys have suggested changing up the blue. And I think we definitely will experiment with the roof style and implement some other things in future builds. But from all the things I tried, I think I like the blue the best. Obviously, we have a different wall texture here as well. And when I'm doing walls, I do like to add texture. This is something I've recently started. I mean, recently in the last few years. I didn't ever used to do this, but it really adds a lot. Even just those little bits of added granite in there, mixed with the brick, mixed with the cut granite. It just helps it to add a little extra detail without going too overboard. We have, of course, the familiar daub blocks, which we're using in the other builds over there as well. And then there's also the oak wood above the windows, the spruce wood, and then fist planks on the front, which might be switched out. Yeah, just in that little space there we have the fist wood. And you know what, it might be a little too many wood types. We have also stripped oak there above the door. It may be one too many wood types, with the walnut there as well. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to tinker with it a little bit to refine it. But you know what, again, I think we've got a good foundation to work from. Do we have enough space in here? I'm not exactly sure. We might have to expand this a bit more. I might consider building a different storage unit, maybe over here somewhere. Anyways, all of those exciting challenges will be for another episode. I also want to make a quick announcement here that this might be the last one for around 10 to 12 days. Depending on when this episode comes out, I'll be away on a family trip for a while. But I'm excited as ever to play this game. I honestly can't wait to return. And I hope you guys will join me in episode 7. We have a lot to look forward to here. Especially with the trains, which I know Lashmac has been working on as well. It's done, right? Oh no! Lash! But yeah, with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Trifecta.